Hello and welcome to Dancing Rector. Swapping Joysticks. I'm your host, Biggest Benus, aka Ben Ostwick, and who the fuck are you?
I'm Ed Knights. There's no Dancing Rector here.
Not right now.
Absolutely not.
Dancing Rector, by the way, is the name given to us by the wonderful Miriam Margulies, who we didn't mention last week, I don't think.
Didn't we?
I don't know. I don't think we did. Well, maybe we did. I don't know. I've slept since then. But yeah, how's your week been, Ed? By the way, this is Swapping Joysticks, the greatest podcast ever heard, ever listened to. Coming in your ears, nice and fresh.
Nice.
How's your week been, Ed?
It's been short, which is nice.
Yeah.
Monday was a bank holiday.
Oh God, it was. Yeah.
And then we're off tomorrow. So it's been a 3-day week.
2-day week.
Nice.
2-day week for me.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a fairly relaxed week, which is nice.
Yeah. It's I do love a bank holiday, but when's the next one? I'm already counting. I don't think there is one for ages.
Oh, like May.
Ugh. Do we not have one in October?
Nope.
Oh, great.
This is it until Christmas now.
Oh, but like Christmas is actually it's in like 3 months. Just over.
Get Christmas shopping now.
What are you gonna get me for Christmas?
Nothing.
Oh, it's what I deserve. Yeah. Shut up, says Money in the chat. I don't even know. I've only just I haven't even recovered from your birthday. I don't know what we're gonna do for Christmas. Nice
recovered.
Nice Satsuma.
Financially or emotionally?
Well, you know what needs recovering. Only for his birthday. Yeah. So what have you been doing this week in your very, very short week?
A bit of work, and that's about it really. Some streaming on Tuesday, and yeah, that's it. It's been a very quiet week, which is very much needed.
Yeah, everybody's been. Heather says I got Coldplay tickets for Christmas. It was supposed to be a surprise, but my boyfriend can't hold water. Wow,
it's a good gift. That is a good gift.
It is. Yeah, you went and saw Coldplay. You like them?
I did. Yeah, I didn't expect to like it that much, actually. I like Coldplay, but I'm not like super fan. But I genuinely really, really enjoyed watching them. They put on a very good show. They've got these really cool wristbands that light up. And every song is a banger.
I think Heather's got the crying emote because she wanted tickets to see Oasis or Blur or
nobody should go and see them.
Why not?
Because they're shit.
Really?
No time for Oasis or Blur or just any kind of Britpop in general.
Gonna be the day that never back to you.
Yeah.
What's wrong with them? You just don't like.
That's not music.
You just don't like northern music.
It's got nothing to do with being northern. Blur are from the south.
Are they? I thought they were Manchester.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, for God's sakes! Oasis from Manchester. Blur, I think, were actually London, maybe.
Oh dear. Okay.
And it was the whole Blur Oasis north-south thing.
Oh, I thought it was just like two in the same city or the same area fighting each other. Who am I thinking of? Pulp. A Pulp Northern.
I think Pulp would definitely.
That's one.
Pulp Sheffield or something.
Yeah, maybe it was Pulp. What's your favorite? Who's your favorite northern singer or northern band? See, you can't even think of one. That's how much you hate. So much you hate them.
No, it's because I don't care where bands are from. Like, if you
Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, also shit because they sound like a knockoff Oasis.
Wow, you just hate Northerners. Apparently, the Verve are from Wigan. Do you like the Verve?
Jesus. And the drugs don't work. No.
This anti-northern Bewitched. I mean, I think that's that's west. Yeah. I don't know any other northern ones. I mean, you could go really north to Scotland. The Proclaimers. Do you like the Proclaimers?
Oh, they can fuck off.
Such a hater.
No, because I fucking hate that 5,000 Mile song or whatever it is that gets played at every student club night and every shit wedding, and everyone's like, and it's the most irritating thing in the world.
Okay, you ready for another one? The
Right,
Smiths.
Fucking Morrissey moaning about life.
What about to take that count as Northern?
Yes, great band.
Okay, finally. M people as well, apparently. Yeah. Obviously Oasis. New Order.
Great.
Yeah.
Blue Monday is a tune.
Joy Division.
All right.
The Stone Roses.
No,
Buzzcocks, well, that was a TV show.
they're a band.
James.
Is that sit down, sit down, sit down?
Oh,
No.
sit down. Oh, they're great. I'm very disappointed.
I don't like songs that
That are
sound
sung
like
by
men
Northern.
chanting at a football match. That's what I don't like.
Do you like the Beautiful South?
No,
Are they Southerners? They sound like it from the name.
they are.
Yeah. I can't stand the Smiths, says Heather, unless I want a good night's sleep. I mean, I don't particularly want... No, wait, no. Beautiful South are from Hull.
Oh,
Ugh. I mean, even I'm...
well,
I-
not so
even-
beautiful then.
Even I turn my nose up at Hull. Hull's like the Wigan or the Preston of the east of England, of the northeast of England. Oh, by the way, Liz just popped her head up. Not that Liz. Says, Arctic Monkeys, knock off Oasis, excuse, Ed get fucked.
Honestly, bite me. They sound identical.
Wow.
And Carrie Ann, I do actually very much like Queen. I know that, We Will Rock You is chanted at various sports matches, but Freddie Mercury
You
is
would
a gay
presume.
icon, and also Freddie Mercury can hold a tune, and Brian May can actually play the guitar, so there is some talent.
Just like Arctic Monkeys. Alex Turner
No.
has an amazing voice and incredible songwriting skills. And don't get me started on Richard Hawley. Anyway. So, thank you very much for the raid, by the way, Tom. Welcome. We've just been talking about our favourite northern bands. Now, we're not talking
That
about
don't
your...
exist.
we're not talking about your kind of northern. What are like some famous Northern Irish bands? No. Oh, shit. No. Simple Minds. There we go. Simple Minds. Are they from Northern Ireland? Ah, shit.
To be fair, what cropped into my mind was Boyzone and Westlife, also not from Northern
Oh.
Ireland.
No, I mean, the accent doesn't really lend itself to a beautiful singing voice. Northern...
Toodle Cinema Club are quite good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Two Door Cinema Club. Very good. Van Morrison. Apparently.
Yeah. A brown-eyed girl.
And I don't recognize any of the others. Most of these... Oh, these are artists. Artists. Right, one second. I was like, why is there somebody from 1885? Oh. The cause are Irish, not Northern Irish, you uncultured swine. But I don't recognize any of the others. Bap Kennedy. What kind of name's Bap? She's probably called, or he's probably called Roll and Cobb in the South. Get it?
I wasn't listening. I was too busy Googling. What did you say?
I can't repeat it again. Bap means hair in Northern Irish.
Apparently Snow Patrol are from Northern Ireland, which explains it.
Oh, I love Snow Patrol.
Oh, God, no.
I've heard it once.
That annoying song that is just like X Factor depressing mode of na 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 na. Two notes. An entire song of two notes.
And they have that
learn
great...
to play a fucking instrument and learn some harmony.
Because don't clip that, because I'm going to do that as soon as like any music appears in a game. I'm still using that. I love also the Snow Patrol and the Wainwrights. What are the Wainwright ladies? Martha? Is it Martha Wainwright and Snow Patrol?
Come on. Nadine Coyle, obviously.
She doesn't count.
Bacon and stuff.
What?
With Flyer.
Dissonant Sin says, hey, what's the topic of conversation? Topic of conversation right now, I mean, it is a gaming podcast, but we're talking about our favourite Northern Irish singers. Jinx says, my people are from Northern Ireland, and I'm offended without having been there. I like that song. What was the one with, Snow Patrol and Martha Wainwright? Yeah, Set the Fire to the Third Bar. It's such a great song. It never...
That one.
Exactly. Oh, I know a great one. What about Kaiser Chiefs?
Awful. Awful.
The amount of clips we're getting from this. Set the fire
Why
to
the fuck? Why the fuck their lead singer was a judge on The Voice? No.
Oh no, what was the... No, the judge on The Voice was the guy from... that annoying... the band that even I don't like. Oh god, what was the name of the guy
Kaiser
from...
Chiefs.
No, it was from the... Oh, what was his name? He was from a different band. A very, very similar band.
Are you thinking of Kasabian? Because they're both begin with a K.
No. There was another one. It was... God, it was only when... He was the judge when The Voice on the Voice UK was good. God, what was the name? Ricky from the Kaiser Chiefs. No, it was... I'm thinking of...
Oh, you're thinking of the Irish one?
Danny O'Donoghue. Yes, from The
There
Script.
you go.
I don't like The Script. Yeah, I'm not a fan of...
They're all right. They've had a couple of all right songs.
No, I'm not a fan of The Script. I think Liz and I get on with our music. Yeah, they're just another nondescript random band.
He is more attractive though, so I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ricky Wilson, not so much. And there's people on that. I mean, who? Oh, Ollie Murs. I like Ollie Murs.
He's from Essex.
Apparently, D Ream are from Northern Ireland. And you know what they say? Things
Can only get worse on this podcast.
It is. Well, let's move on from Northern Irish pop music on this LGBT gaming podcast to what you've been up to in the gaming world this week. Ed, what have you been gaming with a Y this week?
Gaming with a Y. Honestly, nothing new.
Oh, one sec. Ollie Murs. I saw Ollie Murs. He looked at me through his legs.
Excuse me?
Have I ever told you that story?
Is this one story you haven't told me?
It might be.
You've only got 3.
So I was at Barcelona Airport and they were flying out to film the judges' houses in X Factor. And Ollie Murs was at the baggage carousel in front of me, waiting for his baggage to come round. And he spread his legs out a little bit and then was stretching and touching the floor and looked at me through his legs as I was standing behind him.
Was that an invitation? Or...
I mean, I would have accepted. He had a very, very nice ass.
He often wears very tight trousers.
They were very tight. I'm surprised there was no rippage. But yeah, he's a good-looking person in real life.
Yeah.
From behind. Sorry, where were we? Games. Yes, games you were playing it.
Wow. The tangents that we go through here.
Honestly.
Games we've been playing. Yeah, I haven't played anything new this week, unfortunately, so I don't have anything new to discuss. I'm on the edge of giving up on Final Fantasy XII.
No, but you're so close.
I know. And I feel like maybe rather than talk about games I've been playing, I should talk about gaming burnout.
Oh.
Because I feel like this keeps happening to me. And I think it's partly because of the length of a lot of games tend to be very long. And I know you're going to make some sort of innuendo about that.
I wouldn't dream.
Of course. But basically what's happened with Final Fantasy XII is that I have got really, really into it and really enjoyed it. And then I decided to do all the side content. And the extra side content just completely ruins the pacing of the game. It gets in the way of the story. It's a load of extra stuff that just means backtracking through stuff you've already done. It's really laborious and I can't be bothered.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Because I'm a horrible completionist. And when I see things on a board or things to tick off or missions or whatever it might be in games, I feel the need to do it. And I
Why?
just need to tick everything off because it feels incomplete. It's this compulsion I have where I'm like, I can't just do a story. I have to do everything. Like I can't leave things unfinished. It really irritates me. So I make the effort to do everything, but I get to the point where I get completely burned out doing that and I lose interest. So I end up then not finishing the game.
Even when you're very
So
close to the end.
literally, this happened
Tails.
with Tales of Arise, which I haven't played since February. And I'm literally on the final dungeon and just thought, nah, I can't be bothered. Because it's just that horrible thing of we're gonna up the difficulty, we're gonna put some annoying grind in at the end that it's just a pain to play through. And I'm like, I can't be bothered. Even though I'm really close, it's like, no. And the same things happen with Final Fantasy 12, where I've done some really annoying dungeon. I think when I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, Erinus was saying how bad the final dungeon is. And I've just done one that maybe they were misremembering and they meant this one. Because there's one that's sort of Zodiac themed and it's a maze, but everything looks the same. So it's impossible to find your way around. And it's just the worst thing ever. I've done that. There's now another one, which I think is the last one. And that you have to sort of get these black orbs to like put into switches. I can't be bothered. It's just suddenly become too much effort to complete this game. I also had the same thing with Elden Ring, which I did finish, but I got really, really burned out on that game where I was like, I can't be bothered and I just want this finished with now. I just feel like so many games are so long, especially JRPGs, that there's just too much content and it's sort of too much of a good thing. I really enjoy it. And then I just flip the other way and go, nope, I'm done with this now. I can't be bothered. It's just too long. I just much prefer games that are succinct and concise and tell a good story. And if these games didn't have all the extra side content, it would just be a nice story to play through. And I'd be totally content with that. But then they just shove a load of extra quests and extra crap in there that annoys the completionist in me and makes me end up hating that game.
That does sound like
This
a
keeps
problem.
happening. I don't know how to deal with this problem.
That does sound like a problem. I don't have that issue, but what I do have is I will go and try be like that and try and do all the side quests because I just want to completely immerse myself in everything. And then I'm like, you know what? I want to finish this game at some point in my life. So I kind of just streamline through the second half, which works really well on some games. For example, Final Fantasy 15. That was great. It had the open world bit that I was able to completely immerse myself, go around and, investigate different areas and just kind of like live my life inside that game. And then the second half of the game started and it's just like, wait, here we go. This is somebody dragging you right to the end. The pacing on that game might have felt weird for most people, but for me, it was perfect. So yeah, I understand getting burnout. If I was trying to complete everything 100%, I would definitely have that issue as well. But my brain doesn't do that. My brain's like, I want to finish this game at some point in my life. Oh, I'll do all these at the end, and I'll usually like Google, can you go and do these side quests once you finish? And they're like, yeah, you can. I never actually do that, but I will, double check.
See, as Double Bean says, a lot of it's fluff, so don't do the fluff. And I completely appreciate that side content is complete fluff and it's completely meaningless. But I'm that person where I have to tick off all the side quests as I go before I continue. Like open world games where you get like the main quest and the side quests, and especially if you can see them by level, I feel like I need to tick off all the side quests when I'm at that level.
Oh, The Witcher was like that for me.
And one game that's interesting with that's occurred to me is Mass Effect, because actually there are certain story points that once you do that, it then locks you out and gets rid of all the side quests that you didn't do. So then I'm like, oh shit, I've missed it. So I have to do all the side quests. Now, luckily those side quests are good, but you have to do all the side quests before you then continue on to the next bit. And I have to methodically go through that and tick it off. And that's just the way my brain works, is that I have to tick that off. But I end up getting to the point where I'm bored with that and I just burn out.
The Witcher for me was similar to that, but I got so annoyed when I was just going through it, doing all of the side quests, all of the contracts, and then you get to a bit and it goes, oh, because you've done this thing, these 2 quests have failed. And I was like, what do you mean they failed? Like, I've literally just not got around to doing those ones yet. And they don't tell you or warn you that these quests or whatever are going to be failed. Because I think they might even have competing quests that you choose one to do, and then you won't obviously be able to do the second one. That really annoys me. So that's the only time it's ever annoyed me, and it would make me want to kind of follow a guide to make sure I can do every quest in The Witcher when I undoubtedly play it again if they finally get around to doing a definitive edition or the PS5 release.
See, Sret makes a good point here, or an interesting point, about Ghost of Tsushima and Assassin's Creed, where it separates the map out so you can complete little sections as you go.
Ah, yes, I like that.
Which is great, but that's exactly how I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and basically didn't move on to a new section until I had ticked off every single glowing dot that I felt had to be done. And the problem is that some of those things are purposefully really high level. And so the idea is that you actually don't play it like that. You're meant to just follow the story and then go back and do stuff later. But that then just ends up with this weird cleanup stage at the end where you're just jumping around, fast traveling just for the sakes of doing high level stuff that just, to me, then felt really laborious. And I was like, no. So I started doing it that way and then I gave up. And again, guess what? I didn't finish it because I just got burned out by the end by too much content.
I mean, even if you stuck to the main missions in Valhalla, you'd get burnt out and stop playing it. I said this before, but I pretty much did mainly the main quests, and I got 60 hours in, and I wasn't even halfway. So I was like, you know what, screw this.
The thing with Final Fantasy XII is that there is a particular annoyance with its side content. So, for instance, Final Fantasy games always have like the ultimate weapons for each of your characters, and usually they're tied to side content. And I always feel like I need to get that because I want to be as powerful as possible. And there are multiple ways in Final Fantasy XII of getting those weapons, and some of them it's through doing certain quests or finding them or whatever. But a lot of them is that there's an additional way of getting these weapons, which is that they will randomly appear in chests. But that means there is a random chance of a chest appearing in a specific area, and then a random chance of that weapon being in that chest. Which meant that I literally, for an hour and a half, just went back and forth between two areas, watching the single chest respawn, hoping it would have a weapon in there. And I was up until about 2 a.m. in the morning, just wanting this one sword, and it never actually materialized. And then in the end, I was like, I just need to go to bed. This is such a waste of my time. But for some reason, I felt compelled to do it. And then I wonder why I get burned out on games.
Yeah, I mean, that is... I was like, I think maybe you should go to bed now. No? Okay. All right.
And yeah, Devil being Final Fantasy X was also the worst for that because some of those super weapons are awful. Like there is the one that is like dodging lightning strikes that's just ridiculous. What I did do was the Chocobo racing, which I hated and literally had me nearly breaking my PlayStation controller when I did that. And that's why I've ended up really not liking Final Fantasy X because I think
it's because I like it.
No, it's because it's overrated. But I think the main story, is actually really linear. And people berated like 13 for being linear. 10 was way more linear. It's also quite simple and quite easy and quite short. And that's fine. But it felt to me a bit like baby's Final Fantasy. Sorry. I much prefer other ones. Other settings or other games have settings and characters that I just prefer because I'm basic and I like 7, so you can berate me for that and that's fine. I do like 10 still, but it fucked me off doing all the side content because the side content just for me completely ruined the pacing of the game for me and irritated me. And then it adds in all the super bosses and the dark summons and I'm like, I can't be bothered. Like, the game is really easy, and then it just gives you super hard stuff that just means all you do is just grind for hours, and this is a waste of my time, and I can't be bothered. So I got really irritated by 10 for that reason, and 12 has gone very much the same way for me.
When it came to Ghost of Tsushima, I actually really loved how they did it, because obviously, like, the collectibles were very much kind of you could do with them if you want to. And, like, the camps are liberated, but they kind of... I feel like they prioritize their quests as well because they've got the main quest that you can follow, but then there's the side quests that each have different like chapters to them, and you complete the chapters and then you can progress to the next area to to get further with those side quests. Where I went to do, and I think I actually did complete and beat all of the small settlements and liberated all of the settlements, and then I started to get through the side quests. But the things like collecting all the banners and the other little minuscule things in there. They just didn't seem that important, and I don't think, and they didn't feel like, unless you wanted the platinum, I feel like they kind of prioritize their side quests or this. It doesn't even feel like a side quest. It's more like a proper, side chapter, a side story. I can't remember what they called them. So those ones, when they kind of prioritize them and you're like, these are the ones that will give you some great backstory and have their own separate tale, that's great. But when you're just doing kind of, hey, I know you're level 46, but can you go and collect 7 dandelions and 3 buckwheat seeds for me? It just gets a bit like, I'm wasting my time here.
But what games then do is they attach that to a trophy, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, but now I want a glowing shiny thing on my profile that no one even looks at, but just that I feel good that I wasted my time doing that. And yeah. What I like are short, simple games, which are often indie games that you can just play through in a week or so and just enjoy it. And to that end, I've also been playing some more Cult of the Lamb, and I'm really enjoying it for that reason, because it's quite simple, it's not that long, and it's just a fun game for what it is. I'm probably going to finish it within the next few days, never play it again, but I had a nice time with it, and I can move on, and I'm quite happy with that.
Someone in chat said that Cult of the Lamb is bad for all the side quests and to try and 100% it.
I mean, there are a lot of... I haven't actually looked at the trophy list. There are other quests to do, but I feel like it seems relatively easy to tick stuff off. I mean, my only criticism with it is that you've obviously got the action side of things and the settlement side of things, and I feel like they're a little bit imbalanced in that there's a lot more to do in the settlement side of things, but I feel like I've completed a lot more of that before I've actually got through the action side of stuff. So I feel like you sort of progress in each quite separately, and they're not quite as balanced as I would have liked. And also the combat itself is not quite as balanced as I would like either. Some of the weapons are just annoying to use. And also, slight spoiler, the last level is spider themed, and I'm not happy about it.
There were spiders in the game for the first part, and I was like, oh, Ed's not going to like this.
Well, I know, but then it just really leans into that in the last level, and I'm not enjoying that at all.
Mind you, speaking of this, but if you want to know, if last week there was a noise you heard and it wasn't quite audible, but the dogs ran to the door, I was sitting in Ed's living room and a spider slowly lowered its way down from the ceiling right in front of us, above your table. You were not happy. Definitely not a spider fan.
I'm really not.
But yeah, so oh, you've been playing a bit of Cuphead as well, haven't you?
Yes. Oh, that's true. I played some out on stream, which I am just kind of racing through. I played it before, but I never actually finished it. So I wanted to play through it properly on stream, and sort of just not so much, I say speed run, not like an actual world record speed run, but just like getting through it quickly. And to be fair, in I guess about 2.5 hours ish, I've got halfway through the third and final island. So
you did pretty well.
Not too bad going, but I could probably spend the same amount on the last boss from what I imagine.
The thing is, like, it's weird because these super difficult games, Elden Ring, Cuphead, that you stream and you're just completely chilled with it. Then you play something like Unpacking, and Celeste, you're doing really well and very, very calm. But then there's a game like Unpacking that is, at its heart, the calmest, most relaxing game possible, and you are just stressing out like no one's business.
It's about the mindset, Ben. The thing, like when a lot of those games are advertised as being tracker. Thanks. A lot of those games are advertised as or known for being particularly difficult. So you kind of go into it thinking, right, I'm expecting to die a lot. I'm expecting this to be difficult. So I am going to just take my time with it and be patient and rise to the challenge. And the thing with a lot of those games is that it's not actually about skill level or whatever. It's just about patience. And, Dark Souls, for instance, as soon as you rush into it, that's when you lose. Or Elden Ring, whatever. If you rush in, you lose. If you sit back and have patience and take your time and stay calm, that's when you do better.
I think there are only 2 games I've known you get incredibly upset at. One of them was Deathloop.
Well, that was just disappointing.
You got very upset on that final level when you were playing it for like 45 minutes and then died.
The final level was a joke. Yeah.
And also Formula 1 2022.
Spoilers.
Well, if anybody wants to watch the video, because we have been playing some F1 2022 for part of our Formula Joystick series. If you go to youtube.com/swappingjoysticks, you can catch up with the first 4 rounds, isn't it? Yeah, so the first 4 rounds are up there, which were Miami, followed by Monaco, then Great Britain, and Spa. And this Saturday at 4 o'clock UK time, there'll be the premiere of the video on YouTube of the Dutch Grand Prix, and you do not want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. I think it's probably the best one yet. But yeah. Also, if you go onto the
that's
swapping,
an interesting view.
If you want to go onto the Swapping Joysticks Twitter, you can click the reveal button. I hid it behind a nudity tag or whatever, or inappropriate content tag, so you can see what the scores are at the moment. All right. But yeah.
What have you been playing, man?
I have been playing. I've mainly really been playing a great game called Farthest Frontier, which I keep wanting to say. I keep wanting to say Furthest Frontier. Maybe that's the British way.
Or Final Frontier.
That's
Star Trek.
Is it? I thought that was the Next Generation. Is that Star Trek?
No, Star Trek. They go to the Final Frontier. Space, the Final Frontier.
Oh, I've no idea.
Have you never seen Star Trek?
No, I've had sex.
Wow.
But no, I don't care about that. But no, Farthest Frontier though, great game. It is Farthest Frontier is well. Okay, some Trekkies in the chat. Live long and prosper.
What's that? Get it right. Okay. Firstly, I've never actually seen the TV show. I've only watched the films. And
the one with Chris Pine. I liked that because I like.
Yeah, there you go.
Chris Pine.
But also, that's just general, like, common knowledge.
Beam me up, Scotty. Is that Star Trek?
That is, yes,
See?
Star Trek.
I knew it. But yeah.
So Star Trek is incredibly diverse.
Okay. I mean, I watched one episode when I was a kid.
It's not just for virgins, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, you can have a diverse array of virgins.
Wow.
I only watched one episode because The Rock was in it.
Tell us about your frontier.
Okay, well, my Furthest Frontier. So it's a city building game, very similar to kind of like the Anno style ones, where you start off with absolutely bugger all, and you have to kind of build up a settlement, turn it into a town, and then you modernize it, grow it. And yeah, it's just a really pleasant one of those. I've been playing it in beginner mode just to kind of get an idea of the controls and the mechanics. And it's just a really enjoyable game. You start off with your town hall. I don't feel like it's constantly pressuring me to grow. You must grow because there's all these people coming in. You've got to grow as fast as you can. And then it's like kind of just juggling all the resources you've got against all the problems that are happening and, expanding and resource management. It doesn't, maybe because that's the mode I'm playing on, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. But it looks gorgeous, even though obviously you're making the same, you're putting 8 houses in a row, or 8x8, whatever, in a row. They don't look like just copy-pasted versions of each other. Maybe they are, or maybe there's some slight variation. I think there's slight variation in them. So it does look quite natural when they're in there. And it goes through the whole cycle of summer, spring, winter, autumn in a slightly different order. And then, so there is the management part of that, where you have to kind of manage your crops in winter and make sure you've got enough firewood. And I've been playing this off stream. It's in early access. I only did the first 2 tiers of my town because you upgrade the town hall, which unlocks various items for you to use and to put around. I unlocked the 3rd tier off stream because I started again and ended up playing for about 5 or 6 hours. And yeah, it definitely became a little bit more intense. I had some raiders come and when I was, unfortunately, I was very on the edge pretty much with the resources that I'd collected. And I was like, okay, I've only got rations for 3 months while it's winter, and only just enough firewood. And then I got a bunch of raiders just before winter who came and stole a load of things, so that caused some problems. I had a couple of people succumb to injuries or succumb to disease, and we had wild boar attacks. And there's like shit filling in people's gardens. But that was just because I wasn't paying attention.
Poo in it, so that's why you like it.
It definitely has poo. Yeah, Monty would love this. But
so
like
this
anytime,
is farthest frontier.
Yeah, but anytime something like that happens, so yeah, you're overrun with shit or you've got raiders. It never kind of sets it back so that you've got, you're gonna get game over. Like there's zero, it's just going to be going down and down and down. There's always a way to recover from it. And it's just a really in-depth, very complete city builder that I just, really recommend. And it's very addictive.
A question, because I don't think I've ever actually played a game in early access. What more are they going to add to this, and how frustrating is it to play this thinking, but I'm playing a version that isn't complete?
I believe, and I might be wrong, but I believe that you can only get your town to tier 3. So then I imagine that they might add more to that. But like, I'm not sure what they can add to it. I mean, unless, just keep going through the ages. Because you build like a little kind of a makeshift hut for your villagers, but then you upgrade them to slightly, nicer looking houses. I didn't reach the requirements, and I was getting to a bit where I said before that, it's quite difficult to kind of lose, but I was getting to the point where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to restart with a new idea. And like, you want to perfect it and make sure everything is, at the best possible way that it can be and the most efficient. And so I think you get to a stage where you either kind of plow on through with your bit of a mess of a city, trying to slowly increase the various stats that it wants you to, or you go, I'm going to start again, and I'm going to make sure this is here and this is there, and we've got protection, and we've got like we'll build we'll have enough trees so that we can build a fence around it. But then, you got to think about expanding, and so you could, just keep restarting and trying to get a little bit further each time and a little bit more efficient, or you can just stick with one and like slowly grow it as you realize how bad at city planning you are. So I got to tier 3, and I can't remember if there was a way for me to get to tier 4. I don't think so. Because you get, like, it'll tell you pretty much right from the beginning what you can use at the different tiers. So I do wonder if there will be, if that's the next thing that they're going to make tier 4 and tier 5, and whether or not they start introducing kind of modern technology. Will they build a train system in it? Because obviously there's lots of walking and running from place to place. You can upgrade the roads to be from dirt to cobble, but would you be able to put a train in so you can, get people shipped off to the mines where they're harvesting copper that's, a good distance across the map? So things like this would be really, really interesting to see if they do add that stuff. And I'm intrigued to see, and I feel like I'm going to keep going back to it because I've put it down for a bit now, but I will enjoy going back to it in the future if they keep adding, some sizable updates.
Maybe this is the secret to burnout, that they should release games in little bits, so then you kind of enjoy it and you complete that bit, and then you can go back to it later.
100% yes, and I am the biggest defender ever of Hitman 1 that released episodically. Honestly, that was the perfect way to release that game for me. I know it wasn't for a lot of people, but I loved that because it meant I could properly try and master a level, and then it was like, it's 6 weeks until the next level. I can, put a lot of attention on this one level, master it, enjoy it, and then out comes another one.
I will counter that though by saying that Hitman really leaned into replayability, and the whole point was playing it again and again in different ways, like a puzzle. It wasn't like one solution. So if it's like a story game that's linear, then I sort of want that in one go, because then I can do that at my pace. But for Hitman, that episodic thing did really work.
I actually didn't mind Life is Strange. Oh, it was Life is Strange 2, I believe, that came out every couple of weeks. So if they released it like every couple of weeks, sure. But I think there's a few people in the chat that enjoy their binging. I can't binge. I cannot binge. The only time I'll binge is if it's something like a documentary.
Which is usually a film.
Like Tiger King, I binged.
Yeah, I guess.
The Crown, I binged.
That's not a documentary.
Parks and Rec, I binged.
Not a documentary.
Frasier, I binged.
Not a documentary.
Wait a minute. But I don't like a serious binge that you have to kind of concentrate a lot with.
Yeah, I feel like. See, now we're talking about TV shows. I feel
That's
like
fine.
something
Music,
like
TV.
something like Stranger Things. I have binged previous series because to me that sort of just feels like an extended film. But I think the latest series I still haven't even seen because the episodes are films in themselves. I don't have the time to watch that or binge it. What I will binge is something like Selling Sunset that is complete trash, but it's like half an hour episodes. It always ends with some drama and you're like, oh, I'll just put it on and watch the next one. And that's really easy to binge because it's such trash.
You can binge that when I'm busy. I actually binged, but The Office US. I'm glad that Helia said USA because the UK Office you could binge in like 2 or 3 hours. It's like about 6 episodes. I binged the Untold Sports series on Netflix. That was a lot. Oh, is that the one where it's about the different corruption events in sports? Because I really want to watch that. I watched 1 episode. It was great. Like every episode is a different sporting corruption scandal. Really good. I binged Tiger King and Selling Sunset too, says Jimmy.
Great taste from Jimmy.
And I love good binge. #Grays. I can't watch Grays Anatomy. I can't watch. Medical dramas are like quite possibly the last thing on earth I would ever want to watch. I'd watch Selling Sunset before I'd watch Grey's Anatomy.
Great. I'll watch it again with you. We'll do it.
I mean,
I'll teach you all about the joys of Christine and why she is such a.
Christine sounds like a nice. I know nice people called Christine. No, I don't think I'll watch that. I think I'll just nap instead of watching either. Honestly, I'm like that as well. Like if I'm watching a TV series that requires my attention because it's like a proper story. The last one I remember was what was the cyberpunk one that was on Netflix? It was quite grim and dark, cyberpunky style one with people flying around in flying cars and oh god,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Let me Google.
A cyberpunk Netflix show.
Yeah. Altered Carbon. Lots of nudity in that. You'd like it.
Based on a book.
I don't know. Probably.
It's based on a book series, and I think I decided I was going to read the book series first, and then didn't.
And
it's got that relatively attractive blonde man who was in House of Cards. You probably didn't watch House of Cards.
No.
But that's politics.
Oh, Joel Kinnaman.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He is attractive.
I don't know his name.
No, I watched the British House of Cards. That was much better. It was like 3 episodes. In fact, I think it was 3 episodes.
Isn't that from the 70s or something?
The 80s.
Oh, talk to my dad about that.
We're gonna watch that, and we're also gonna watch Yes Minister and Yes Prime Minister. The best 1980s political British sitcoms, not even sitcoms, dramas you'd ever get the chance to see.
Can I just keep watching Selling Sunset?
Well, if you make me watch Selling Sunset, I'm going to make you watch Yes Prime Minister.
Then I won't make you watch it. That is a deal.
Wow. So good. I love Yes Prime Minister. It's great because you watch it and it's set in the 80s or early 80s, I think it is, and you watch it and go, oh, this is like completely what happened, last year, or they talk about the newspapers and you're like, yeah, that's still relevant today. Pretty much about everything that they talk about is a genius show. It was the thick of it for the 1980s, which I need to get you to finish, actually.
See, that's another thing. Didn't finish.
You need to finish. Well, I'm going to force you to. I'm going to not be polite and be like, oh, maybe it's not really in the mood. I'm going to be like, we're watching the thick of it. Now sit down and shut up.
Well, that I probably could binge.
You could.
But also the episodes are like 20 minutes. So when they're short, that's again, just like with gaming. When it's short, I feel compelled to be like, oh, just a bit more. I'll just play a bit more. We'll just watch another one. And then you get through it really quickly. And when it's some epically long thing, it feels like such an effort. I can't be bothered.
Mr. Wilbur says they should bring back Spitting Image. They did to BritBox, which nobody watched, and I don't think it was very good. But yeah. Oh, as May9 just said.
Oh, Heather mentioned the assassination of Gianni Versace, which I did also watch.
Oh, didn't you add it?
Yeah.
Didn't I say let's add that to the list and we'll watch it together?
I've already seen it. It's got Darren Criss in it. He's hot.
Is he the one that sings?
He was in Glee, yeah.
Ah, I didn't realise that the person who I sit next to at work every day and work with, her brother dated the guy that plays Dear Evan Hansen. The one from Pitch Perfect.
Evan Hansen.
No. The one that in Pitch Perfect.
Well, I know, but he doesn't play Dear Evan Hansen. That's
Doesn't
just
he?
the name of the show.
I don't know. I've not seen it.
Neither have I.
Well,
I'm pretty sure the character's just called Evan Hansen.
Oh.
His name is not Dear.
No, I know that. You know, like, oh, Dear Evan Hansen, he's a nice guy. That, yeah, it's right. It's right, dear. What's the name of the person from Pitch Perfect, the nerdy one?
Yeah, I know exactly. Ben Platt is the actor's name.
That's it.
There you go.
So there. He's also in a TV show at the moment, and he was in Fire Island as well, which was, I think, Helios I saw tweeting about. Nah, yeah. I met his brother once. The funniest thing ever was his, because her brother was here, the actor, and the assistant director of studies met him, and this is a very attractive guy, like, and knows it. 100% your type, Ed. You keep you tied up, I think, around him. But she met him and like shook his hand and was like, yeah, Danielle, and then wave, and then he like wandered off, and she was like, I've never been so embarrassed in my life. She totally embarrassed herself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about the news?
Well, what about all the other games I've been playing?
Like what?
Well, I haven't really. I played a little bit more Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I got to the part where they finally unlocked chain attacks, which I'm pretty sure in Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, they give you right at the beginning. Now they've finally unlocked chain attacks for me.
Does that mean you've now finished the introduction after like 10 hours?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, that was just the last thing I did, so I'm pretty sure there will be more. It's all right. I mean, I've said this before, but they just hold your hand through the tutorials so badly. It's like, you've just unlocked this. You can now add art to your character. Great. That would be great. But no, go into the menu, click. Yes. And then it'll come up with, then it'll say like, press this button, and you have to press a button to get rid of the prompt that says press this button, so you can actually press this button. And it will give you step-by-step instructions that you have to click to go to the next one while doing the instruction that it's asking you to do. And it just drives me insane because it's like, oh, you've unlocked this special talent art. Go and equip it now, and it will go through step by step of you going into the menu and equipping that exact talent art. Even if you don't want it, even if you've unlocked, actually, you've got 3 there, and you want to pick another one. It's like, no, you must follow our instructions and do this. And it just gets me so annoyed and bored.
I hate to tell you this, but you're playing a JRPG.
I've had JRPGs though before that just, well, usually the old ones are like, yeah, there you go, work it out for yourself. Like Materia. Who understands Materia in Final Fantasy VII? I certainly don't.
No, I do. Why? Because I went through the tutorial, because it taught me.
Well,
so why don't you actually listen and read?
Because there's just so many mechanics. Like it goes, oh, you need to change your class of every single person in all the 6 people in your party. You need to change their classes. And it'll make me choose the exact class that I've got to switch them to for a specific length of time.
Materia is really easy. You realize that?
I mean, you fight fire with fire or something like that?
No. So every weapon has a certain number of slots, and then you put materia into those slots to give you abilities. But you can also put them together to give you extra abilities. So if you put all with fire, then you can cast the fire spell on all the enemies. It's like making language. Just put things together to make a sentence.
I know that. I was trying to get the. I was just winding you up. I was trying to get the platinum in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and so I had to learn a lot about materia for that.
Oh, Helios is asking about Junction in Final Fantasy VIII. I can tell you all about that as well. That's not a problem.
Oh my god. Well, let's save that for another podcast. Maybe it can be a YouTube special. Ed explains obscure gaming mechanics.
But Junction's great because you can break it in like the start of the game, and then you're like OP for the entire thing. When you understand it, you know what to do.
If you understood what you do, you'd be unstoppable. All right, Ed, what's happening in the news? Let's swap our pigeons. Like the news, carry it.
Swap our pigeons. What?
Yeah, I don't know. Carry a pigeon.
No,
obscure mechanics, not obscure games. I know Final Fantasy VIII was the first game that got me into Final Fantasy.
Well, that's a great choice. That is a very good choice. Right. Well, we've talked a little bit about Assassin's Creed, and it's been heavily rumored and a not very well kept secret that a new Assassin's Creed game is on the way.
Wait, they're making a new one? I thought they just stopped the franchise.
Oh, no.
Oh,
There's a new one. Well, there's a big new one, which is Assassin's Creed Infinity, and that's not for a couple of years yet.
like
But
Disney.
It's been sure. It's been heavily rumored that a new, shorter Assassin's Creed game is on the way. All these bits have come out about it. It's now basically going to be officially revealed next week, but it was leaked earlier today, the box art for it, and so Ubisoft have been forced to actually say, yes, this is what it is. So what it is Assassin's Creed Mirage, and you've played Valhalla.
Valhalla. You
remember Basim?
Yes.
The assassin from the Middle East.
Quite attractive man.
Very much so. So this is basically him in the lead as the lead character, and it is a shorter sort of side story specifically about him, but it's a back to basics Assassin's Creed game. So it's set predominantly in one city. There's no leveling up. There's no RPG stuff, and it's back to just him becoming an assassin.
Oh, I like that. And is this a game?
So it started off as a side story sort of expansion for Valhalla, and then it got spun off into its own game that you can buy just on its own. And it's been heavily rumored for a very long time, but now it is officially coming out.
I didn't see this. Did you write about it today?
No, my boss Tom did, but he is a huge Assassin's Creed fan, so he's all over it.
Oh, and they're going to tell us more on September the 10th at Ubisoft Forward.
There you go. There is an Ubisoft showcase September the 10th, and basically they're going to be revealing all their new games, which is Assassin's Creed, and that's about it because they don't have anything else.
If they announce another Division, I'm going to show Hole on Twitter circles. Not gonna, but I will be very excited.
Someone clip that. And then clip the Hole.
I would. Don't worry, I'll add you to my circles.
Great.
Privileged. So privileged. No, I'm just desperate for a new Division. I love The Division. I've said this before. The Division 1 is one of the best games ever made. Well, it's not, but it's one of my favorite games. It's one of those addictive games that it doesn't fuck with your time. So it's one of those that is technically an open world. Well, not, yeah, it is an open world, but it's also kind of you do it multiplayer. It's a bit like, Destiny, how a lot of Destiny is, well, there's PvP, but there's also a lot of co-op involved, and The Division has a lot of kind of areas where you're going to encounter other people. But it does have a story that like has an ending and kind of makes sense, and side stuff that's completely optional. I just love the world of The Division.
Cool.
Great game. We're going to play Division 3 if they announce it.
That's a big if. There's been quite a lot of Fortnite news in the last day.
Oh.
So every year, well, I say every year, I think last year was actually the first one. There was Rainbow Royale, which is the Fortnite Pride event.
Mm-hmm.
And that is now starting for this year. And what's nice about it is that they are adding the character Dreamer, who I was not aware of this because I did not watch Supergirl, but Dreamer is a trans DC superhero who is sort of heading up basically this Rainbow can't say this Rainbow Royale.
Rainbow
really hard to
Royale,
say.
Rainbow Arcade.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it means that she is officially the first confirmed trans character in Fortnite, which is great.
Brilliant.
Lovely to have the representation. Also, there is a new emote which is basically a death drop, to which my boss is a huge fan of Fortnite, but he had to send me a video of this and be like, is this Drag Race related? I was like, yeah, it's called a death drop.
You work in an industry with straight people. Lots of straight people.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, there's also an in-game rainbow radio station which has various LGBT artists playing.
Ooh.
Which
years
is
and
nice.
years.
I can't remember who they all are. But one of them is Lady Gaga.
Oh, I've heard of her.
And that is interesting because there are even more rumors coming out that Lady Gaga is going to be doing some sort of collaboration in Fortnite.
Oh, thank God, because the Ariana one was terrible.
This has been rumored for a really long time because when there was the whole Epic Apple thing and loads of leaked documents came out about what Epic were working on in Fortnite, various names came up, including J Balvin and Ariana Grande, both of which have had events in the game, and Lady Gaga's name was also included. So they've clearly been at least in talks about it for a long time. But what's now happened is the artwork for this Rainbow Royale has various characters and various poses, and those poses are all taken from Gaga's Bad Romance video, for fans who know. There's also a new emote, which has been data mined, and it's 4 different sort of dance music emotes. But when you put them together, it plays Poker Face. Very obviously. And this has all been data mined. There's also a new skin that has, it's like white but with a heart eye that looks a bit like a pack of cards, so it's kind of Poker Facey. So there's all these little hints basically that Gaga's going to be coming. Whether it is a big musical thing like with Ariana or whether it's just kind of some extra little bits, I don't know. But yeah, that is going to be very fun. I
didn't like the Ariana one. I didn't recognize any of them. I think I recognized one of the songs and it was over in like 8 minutes.
You don't like Ariana Grande songs.
I like her. I like the song with that one.
Are you thinking right now I'm in a state of man?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. I think.
No Tears Left to Cry.
And Thank You Next.
Thank you.
I don't know
Next.
that song.
I'm pretty sure she played that one.
Oh, yeah, I don't know it.
Well, she played that one, as in the animated Ariana did. Your problem is that it was the later songs, and you probably like the earlier ones. Like, this is the part where I say, I don't want you, I'm stronger than I've been before, which is an absolute tune.
Yeah, that one is a good one. That's one I've danced to before. The new stuff is just, I don't know, I put it on loud and all the neighborhood dogs turned up at the door. That's all, it was just squeaky noises.
See, what I'm hoping for is that with Gaga, they will do Rain on Me, and then we can have Gaga and Ariana together, and then that'll just be a dream.
No, they just need to do all the songs from her first 2 albums. That'll be fine.
What, from Gaga's first 2 albums?
Yeah, she hasn't released a decent song in a while, has she?
Yes.
Go on then.
Well, Rain on Me, firstly, that was from Chromatica.
Ariana let it down.
I've actually got this. Is
Are you having to Google it?
Open. No, I've got it open because I was listening to her earlier. No, hang on, Chromatica had some great songs on it. It's just you probably didn't listen to it.
Did she sing?
It had Stupid Love on it. You know that one. I want
Yeah.
your stupid love.
Oh, is that just no? No, because that's just like the same lyric repeated a few times.
Sour Candy with Blackpink. You won't know them because it's K-pop.
No, I did. I played that Blackpink song and it was average.
Wow.
It's
Also, even more recently than that, she's got a song that was used, that was part of the new Top Gun film soundtrack, which is a great, great song.
Oh,
I
that's
think
good.
it's called Hold My Hand, I think it's called.
All Gaga's best music is on her first 2 albums. Helios. Helios is right. Nah, she hasn't really. I liked the.
Yeah, Hold My Hand.
What's the one
It's
with?
a great tune.
Hello, hello. Is that Telephone?
Yes.
I like that one.
I like that one.
Is that the second album?
I like that Telephone song.
Telephone, yes.
It's absolutely fantastic.
How dare you? Oh, wait, what was... Yeah, no, I mean... Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. Her earlier stuff, I also prefer.
I bought her first album. I found that first album and showed you it the other day that I bought in the Virgin Megastore in Times Square.
Show off.
Yeah. Dance in the Dark. I do like that one as well. Okay, so maybe she has released some good songs lately, or in the last 10 years.
I also love Applause. I'll throw that out there. I also really like The Cure. That's a great song.
Oh yeah, Applause is good. Is that second or third? I liked
That's third, I believe.
Okay. I've seen her live like 3 times, I think. 2 or 3 times. The first time I was very, very close. I was against the barriers at the front in quite a small arena in Cardiff, not in the stadium. But the second time I saw her in the Palau Sant Jordi in Barcelona, and it was miles away. But I think I saw her, I've said this before, I saw her within a few weeks of seeing Adele, and she blew Adele out of the water. She is a great performer, great vocalist. She can do amazing things with her songs. Whereas Adele's like, well, press the CD. Press the play on the CD. And that's what it sounds like.
Okay, I dispute that because that just means that she is a good singer and doesn't need auto-tune or whatever.
Oh, no,
else.
she does. She sings exactly like she does on the CD.
Because the CD is a raw recording of her and she sings it well.
But I would just
But I will admit, I mean, I haven't seen Gaga and I'd love to, and I bet she does a great show.
Yes. It's a performance. It's a show. Adele was just her singing her songs and then 5-minute break between every song while like 16 people in the audience propose.
I mean, I would love this, but do you really think Adele's going to just like jump out into some dubstep remix of a song and start dancing?
Give us something give us something a little bit different. Mix it up a little bit, maybe perform some songs that maybe, you know, the odd cover or two. You know, just have it a little bit more unexpected. It was very expected.
Sure. Anyway.
Oh, Adele's Someone Like You is, I mean, that's one of the best songs ever. I remember hearing it because my friend sent me a recording of it, like performed on Jules Holland about 6 months before she released it, and I was just obsessed. And it is really good. And I do love a ballad.
I think it's a bit overplayed.
Well, you should have played it. Every song's overplayed for you because you love a song, and then you play it for like a whole day, and then go, "Well, that's a bit overplayed."
Drag me. That is true.
How's Pussycat Dolls React? I've never heard a song so many times in one day when you played that. Literally, I was at your house and you played Pussycat Dolls React. You must have played it about 200 times in one day.
Not that much.
100. Definitely. It was all day.
Anyway, I think Turning Tables is better.
No idea.
Well, listen to the album a bit more then, Ben.
Uh-huh.
Right, more Pride news. There was an update to Horizon Forbidden West, which neither of us have played yet. And they have fixed loads of bugs, but they have also added in a new face paint called Mark of Pride, which adds pride colours to Aloy's face.
I just downloaded it actually yesterday.
Including trans colours on her forehead, which is excellent.
Nice. I just downloaded it. I'm going to be playing it. I think I'll play that off stream. I don't think it's a streaming game. Oh, we've got breaking news.
Oh.
Hello, Biggest Benners. Thank you for being a loyal member. From the 1st of October 2022, the monthly games provided to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and Xbox Live Gold members via Games with Gold will no longer include Xbox 360 titles. So they've removed Xbox 360 titles from games with gold.
I think that was known before now, but yeah.
Breaking news.
Do you read Eurogamer or any kind of games media?
I'm busy. I'm very busy during the day.
Okay.
I'll read it if you send me it, which you often do.
I'm only sending you mine.
Of course, yeah. I only click on it because it's yours. Give you the extra view.
Thanks. It's needed. Speaking of bright colours, a new Pokemon has been announced. A brand new Pokemon coming to Scarlet and Violet. Its name is Graphii.
A what?
Graphii.
Yay. Yay, ding dong.
Graph being for graffiti.
And I?
I is monkey. Or a type of monkey.
Aye.
Yeah. So the Pokemon Company have been teasing it all week, and then they basically revealed it earlier today. It is a sort of monkey goblin looking thing that paints markings to mark its territory and in the walls on trees, and it gets the paint by eating berries.
Shits up walls. Okay.
No, it eats berries, and then it paints with its finger.
I mean, it picks the berries, the dangleberries, and smudges it with its finger.
Yes, exactly. It is a toxic monkey, poison normal type Pokemon.
It's poison.
And it attacks foes by spitting on them.
Dirty bastard.
What that has to do with Spain, I don't know. But you can find that in Paldea.
Oh, I wonder if that will be at the very, very bottom. Maybe on a rock. Gibraltar. Why? The Rock of Gibraltar. It's got lots of monkeys on it.
Well, but it's in the forest.
Well, if it's there as well in the south on a rocky island or a rocky peninsula, then I will accept your apology.
Okay. Sure. A small bit of Call of Duty news.
Yay!
For you.
Thank you.
Well, it's also more just Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft news. I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that details of the deal were released in Brazil because with the merger, it has to go through loads of checks for sort of industry stuff and not having a monopoly and boom, 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 boom. And remember, PlayStation, it came up saying that they had been paying companies to not put their stuff on Game Pass. That was all because it was discussed in Brazil. That same thing is now happening in the UK. And so stuff is coming out about sort of the UK's Competition and Markets Authority scrutinizing it, et cetera, et cetera. But to combat that, Microsoft came out with a blog post today from Phil Spencer that does say that Call of Duty is going to be coming to Game Pass, but it will still launch on PlayStation on the same day because they're trying to show that they won't have a monopoly on the industry by keeping Call of Duty to themselves. So they're basically saying that like they're still going to release it on PlayStation. But of course they're going to add it to Game Pass as well.
That's brilliant news. I love Call of Duty, but I find myself struggling to pay £60 a year on it, and it's very rarely on sale. So if it's going to be on Game Pass, I am very happy with that. And hopefully that will make the online section of it a little bit more populated with people who aren't kind of sweaty tryhards.
Quite possible.
If anybody. By the way, yeah, I typed in Pokemon graffiti and got an image that I wish I hadn't seen. I posted it in the chat.
Oh, wow. That's terrifying. That is truly terrifying.
Yeah, very, very bizarre.
PlayStation Plus. Every month there are lots of new games added because of course there are. And there are the PS Plus Essential games, which are the 3 free ones you get every month, which are a bit shit this month. It's Need for Speed Heat, Toem, and Granblue Fantasy Versus. Toem is a cute indie game. I think actually BJ played it. It's like a black and white photography game. And might be quite fun, but it's just a cute indie game. However, they are also adding new games to the catalog for extra and premium subscribers, and there are quite a lot in there. Siphon Filter 2 is coming, which is a PS1 game.
Love Siphon Filter.
They're adding the Sly Collection and Sly Cooper Thieves in Time from PS3.
I never played Sly Cooper, did you?
I played a bit of Thieves in Time, and it was all right.
Was that PS1?
No, PS3.
Oh.
There's the Sly Collection, which was PS2 games, which were re-released on PS3, I believe.
Oh.
There are some PS4 games coming as well. So Assassin's Creed Origins, Watch Dogs 2, which I'm quite excited to play
The
through.
best Watch Dogs game. I mean, hands down.
Spiritfarer, which if you haven't played, you should play. Chicory: A Colourful Tale, which you should also definitely play because that's excellent.
Really don't recommend it.
Rayman Legends.
Great.
You played 20 minutes of it. You can't recommend anything, Ben. Piss off. You can clip that and I'll play that repeatedly. Chicory is an excellent game.
Oh, it's boring. It involves effort of like writing and drawing, and I'm like, no, I don't have the time for that.
Using your brain.
No, I don't mind using my brain. I've used things like my brain for things like, Death Stranding and stuff, but I don't want to use it for drawing.
Death Stranding is mindless.
Certainly not. You have to organize those boxes. Maybe that's why you didn't like it, because you have to organize boxes and put things in a logical order.
That was the most fun thing about it. Anyway, the point of all this is that there is one game that is a PS5 game that's coming to PS Plus, and that is Deathloop. Now, I did not like Deathloop, so I would not recommend playing it. However, what for me is interesting is the fact that that game came out last September, which means it's now a year before it's being added to PS Plus. So my thinking on this is this an indication that after a year, that's when games are going to be added to PS Plus? Because that's what happened with Returnal, and it also happened with Ghost of Tsushima, with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now we've got it with Deathloop. So I think a year might be an indication. That said, we've missed Ratchet and Clank because that's not up yet.
And also, the one game that I actually want to play that for some reason I can never see it on sale and also needs to be on PlayStation Plus because no one's, I don't think, playing it, Sackboy. Why is that not on there? I literally don't understand why that's not on PlayStation Plus.
That should be, actually. That's a good shout.
It is their kind of mascot, the PlayStation mascot. Well, kind of Astrobot is as well, but Sackboy, Astrobot, why?
That's a very good point, Ben. That's a very good point.
Can someone clip that one as well, please?
For once. Later this month, it is the Tokyo Game Show.
Are you going?
Which, no, I wish. Foreigners aren't allowed to Japan.
Oh, they are. They just released something today, I think.
Oh, well, there you go. So there's not a huge number of companies there, but there will be some gaming news from the Tokyo Game Show later this month. So keep an eye out on that. Most of which I think is going to be coming from Square Enix because they have the biggest showing of all. So they're basically going to be showing stuff on Crisis Core, Forspoken, Harvestella. I don't think Final Fantasy 16 is going to be there. But also Tactics Ogre Reborn, Dragon Quest Treasures, Dive Chronicle, Romancing Saga, Star Ocean 6, Valkyrie Elysium, the Switch edition of Nier Automata, loads of JRPG stuff, basically. Yeah. And also, Atlas are going to be showing off Persona 5, 4, and 3 because their new versions are coming. So lots of JRPG goodness to come from Tokyo.
We've also, before we go on to saying what people have been playing in the community, which we missed.
Oh, yes, of course.
Do you know we spoke about it, I think a couple of weeks ago, the publisher of DOMINA, the arsehole that wrote the really anti-mask homophobic shit in his patch notes on Steam.
Oh, yes.
He's released another update for his game, and it is the most unhinged, anti-trans, hate-filled rant I've seen. I mean, before he was trying to pass it off as a bit of kind of, just slyly putting the odd word in there, and you could be like, oh, it's just a guy who's a bit of a loser. But quite recently, he's just posted a really unhinged rant. He's dead naming Keffels. Have you seen it?
No. What's Keffels got to do with it?
Upset the person. So they've changed the name of Domina and have tried to equate that to somebody being trans. And it honestly, it is the most offensive shite I've seen in a long time. I was going to send it to you, but I was like, you probably won't want to write about it because you don't want to give any, any kind of stuff. I'm just quickly seeing. Yeah, no, it is still up there. I don't understand how Steam haven't stopped this. I'll post this in the chat if anybody wants to see. I don't think you want to, but there it is. I just don't understand how Steam hasn't removed this. Yeah, it's literally
that's the angle of the news story. Steam needs to react.
Yeah, that should be. There you go. Although you're not working now until Monday.
I'll put it in Slack.
But yeah, like I just have a look at that, just how unhinged it is, and yeah, Steam really needs to look at this and be like, do they really want this on their platform?
Exactly. And then the last bit of news for this week, which is the best news of all, and I am dearly, dearly hoping that it comes true, is that apparently, finally, Nintendo are going to release Switch ports of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Apparently, we are going to be getting a Nintendo Direct in September, and they are finally going to release these two ports, which have been rumored for a very, very, very long time. And I am desperate to play both games again. They were released on the Wii U in HD, and no one bought a Wii U, so no one bought them. And they've ported enough other games from the Wii U over to the Switch. I don't know why it's taken so long. But apparently it's very heavily rumored that finally this is going to be happening in September. Whether they're out straight away, I don't know. If they're released separately at full price, or if there's a double pack, I don't know. Is this going to be similar to the Mario 3D All-Stars, where it's limited release for a certain amount of time?
I'll buy immediately. What if
I will still buy that.
Oh yeah. Did you get you got All-Stars, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Physical?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I can borrow that then.
Yep. You're welcome to stream it if you want. What's annoying with that is that it's sold like 10 million copies. So actually it sold really well because they artificially force that by making it limited time.
Can I just say as well, we're talking about Wii U. I'm still gonna get my Wii U fixed because I've decided I want to stream some Xenoblade Chronicles Cross.
Ooh.
Also, the best Mario Maker.
Interesting. But yeah, I am desperate to play Wind Waker again. It is genuinely like top 3 Zelda for me with Ocarina and Breath of the Wild. Like I just love that game. And I'm really intrigued to play Twilight Princess again. What's also going to be interesting about Twilight Princess is that when that first came out, some Zelda trivia for you here, it was released both on the GameCube and the Wii as a Wii launch title. Now, Link in every game is left-handed, or at least up until that point was left-handed. But they knew that with the Wii remote, when you swing the sword, most people are right-handed. And so they had to make Link right-handed. But instead of just changing him, they basically mirrored the entire world. So when you put them side by side, the Wii is literally a mirror image of the GameCube version. But when they did the HD remaster on the Wii U, I'm presuming actually that they took the GameCube version and remastered that because it's not motion control, it's GameCube controls. So it's going to be really weird for me to play that again as a remaster because it's going to be the opposite way around to what I think it is. Whereas what I played was the mirrored version on the Wii, which is just a really odd bit of trivia for you there.
That's a big change though, even though it doesn't sound it, but switching it all over.
Because so I guess what will happen is that you go around the world anti-clockwise, essentially, which is also what you did in Ocarina of Time. Whereas I played it going around clockwise because you go left to Death Mountain first and go around. Anyway, that's weird. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get Zelda news. And my dream is that we basically get a massive Zelda Direct specifically. They drop these two immediately, go buy them as a double pack, and then here's a big chunk of Breath of the Wild 2 news. And if everyone can just please join the summoning circle, please pray, and we can make this happen.
If they do that, we're probably going to do something about streaming it, aren't we? I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel that might be a really
or both of us will stream it.
Maybe that'll be our first kind of joint in-person stream where we just hang out and chill and play Zelda Wind Waker.
We can do that. I will supervise you playing it
Well,
and
just
explain to you how to play.
well, if I'll be like, no, this bit looks a bit difficult or boring. I'll just pass it to you.
So I'll play the whole thing then. That's fine.
How dare you? I played a lot of Wind Waker. I'd been to
How
the
far?
um.
I'll judge if it's a lot or not.
Well, I can't remember exactly where I got. I went to a prison
went to
island.
an island.
Yeah, I went to a prison island. That was the first one I think you go to, and then I went to another island.
So the prison island is about half an hour in.
Yeah. So, well, no, not if you can't. Not if you want to kind of explore everywhere on that first island. And then I went. I a couple of islands after that. I did at least 2 or 3 streams of it. I don't know. We'll find it. Hopefully, if I get my Wii U up and running and the save file still on there, you'll be able to see. You'll be able to judge.
Honestly, the music in Wind Waker alone, just it's honestly some of the best music in Zelda.
And the art. I own a Wii U, Shrek. I love my Wii U with Xenoblade Chronicles Cross and Mario Maker and Wind Waker HD and Mario Kart 8. I had some very good games on there.
But now you just get them all on Switch and stuff.
I know, yeah. It's like, fine. But I got to play them first. Yeah, okay. Well, what have people been playing?
That was the news this week. Yes, let's look.
This is definitely intentional that we're talking about this now.
Yes, we meant to leave this till last, obviously. Clues. I'm playing Atomicrops mindlessly these days as I have the VODs in the background. It's mindless fun for me and I love it to bits. I have never heard of this game. It's a farming game.
Farming?
An action roguelite farming game.
Oh, this seems interesting. 9 out of 10 on Steam. You must grow ultra GMO crops to feed the local town and make a hefty profit. Oh, that does sound quite addictive. It's got the word farming in it and roguelite. And simulator. That's like...
It's like keywords.
Yeah, crack.
Gamer keywords. Ravi Lavi, I'm mostly playing RPG mobile games with a dash of gacha, Sidorica, and Guardian Tales. I've been on Final Fantasy 14 a few times since 6.2's come out, mostly for weeklies for gear, but since Merca has a 3-day weekend this coming weekend, I'll probably get on and finish 6.2 MSQ. Jinx is also...
I want to see what this is. I like my mobile games. I want to see Sidorica.
Well, just to continue, Jinx has also been playing Final Fantasy 14, but the Island Sanctuary, which I'm interested to hear more about. The scenery is gorgeous. The progression is pretty good. Don't be like me and buy high fashion first thing because you will need those shells for upgrades. Catching rare animals is a challenge, but that can make it feel more special to get them. I love visiting my animals in my pasture and petting them for the simple reward of a big animated heart. Gathering resources is just a single click, so I can run from shiny to shiny and enjoy the simple things while waiting for that DPS queue to take me someplace more dangerous for a bit. There's some fun economic puzzles in the way you make money selling things to the outside world, and that's fun too. It's not for everyone, but if you like that sort of grind, like with Stardew or Story of Seasons, it's pretty well done, and you get to use your beloved Final Fantasy 14 persona to do it.
I will get into that eventually.
Very much appreciate that roundup, Jinx. That was very
complete
and detailed. That's not the word I was thinking of, but I'll go with it.
Arousing.
Comprehensive.
There you go.
That's the word I was thinking of. Sret's been playing a lot of Rocket League lately. I absolutely hate it. It's the worst game ever. I will continue to play it every day for the foreseeable future.
You missed the first part of her comment.
In the middle of being overwhelmed at work, come to this channel and read about ketchup pre-cum. I feel better. I mean, I was, skipping over the.
We were talking about ketchup smegma. Ketchup smegma is the bits around the top that kind of get left there and get crusty.
Disgusting. Disgusting. Gary has been playing a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn the past couple of weeks. I got it ages ago in a sale and never downloaded, but just felt like giving it a go recently. I'm loving it so far. It's the sort of game that I really like but haven't played in a long time. Big open world exploration, lots of silly and story building side quests, except the hunting ground trip wire task that can get in the bin.
Oh, no, that's great. Just
Uh,
go and Google how to do it.
and lots of different things to collect, viewpoints to unlock, etc. I've been sucked in by the story so far as well.
There's a
With
spoiler from the
spoiler
beginning.
movement.
Yeah, the very beginning, that bit.
The controls feel a bit clunky at times, so movement is not as fluid as I would like at times. But overall, I'm very much enjoying the experience and looking forward to seeing how the story plays out. Sret's also re-downloaded Horizon 2. I'm just slowly playing through it. I didn't get very far my first playthrough, so I thought I would just start fresh. Something about young Aloy's hair drives me absolutely wild. She is so out of proportion. It's really strange.
No, I think it's her hair drives her wild.
I love this type of open world game where I can sink hours into side quests and progress the main quest at my own pace. Apparently, unlike me. Something about it just gives me cozy autumn vibes. I also get autumn vibes from Horizon.
Oh yeah, it's all brown and because it's winter's coming as well. It's like cold.
This is why you need to play Forbidden West. Actually, I think that's more summery and tropical, but fine. We need to play that.
Yeah, they've done winter because they did that. Then the expansions were winter. Then this is like summer. They need a spring one.
Threat's also just taken over this week and has written on a lot of stuff about Graveyard Keeper. So that's that.
Wow. It's like a cozy Stardew style game set in a limbo dimension between real life and an afterlife. And your main goal is getting back to your love after you've been transported there. You don't have to worry about a romance aspect. You can progress in any way that you want. If you get to a certain point, you can automate a lot of the work and it becomes a bit of a management style game. Well, that sounds good. The map is absolutely huge and there's so many different NPCs to interact with and build friendships with. You have a little house off to the side of a small church with an overrun graveyard that you can fix up. What's that called? What's that called? The part of the
small church?
No, the little house next to the church. Has a name. Moni will know. She dated a priest. Moni, what's it called? You probably lived in one of them. Oh, it has a special name for it. There's a skill menu that you progress through. Spacers all over. She did date a priest. Is that a parsonage? Is it a parsonage? It's a
I don't know, an outhouse?
Manse, a parsonage, a rectory, or a vicarage. Maybe a vicarage. Yeah, maybe a vicarage. There we go. An outhouse is where you go to the toilet. That's what she meant. Yeah.
Oh God, Moni living her Fleabag fantasy.
So
absolutely.
Have your little vicarage. But yeah, that was. I know that sounds like good. I especially like there's no pressure on you. There's a weekly cycle, but you don't incur any penalties if you just faff around on these days because there's no seasons. You can play the game in any way you want. It's probably my favorite game ever created, and I don't think enough people know about it. Graveyard Keeper.
Well, now we all know about it.
Well.
Games Mistress has been playing a ton of Bloons TD. It's a monkey-based balloon tower defense game that has existed for ages, and I'm playing Bloons TD 6. It's adorable and very calming on my anxiety and very addictive. I recognize that it's probably boring and predictable, but I've been doing the daily challenges with great joy. It's ridiculous, but I love it and it's very soothing. So that's great though. Love that kind of game.
No, I played it and I hate it. I played that.
Oh, I've never played Bloons.
Oh, I played it because it's on Apple Arcade, so I downloaded it, played it, and was like, I was so freaking stressed. Because you start off and it's just, oh, that's easy to pop that balloon. Very easy to pop that balloon. And then with a few seconds later, they're just whizzing around the tracks and you're trying to, fire rockets and bombs and all sorts at it and spinning weapons. And, I got too stressed.
Randy Pasta, I've been playing Immortality, the new Sambalo game. I really want to give this a go because I've heard such incredible things about that.
10 out of 10 from Edge.
Yeah. It's a lot more interesting compared with telling lies in her story. Good. Instead of typing text to find the next clip, you locate an image or person on screen to find another movie scene or hidden scene by moving frames back or forwards. Interesting. The goal is to find out what happened to an actress across 3 films. If you like F&V games or enjoy seeing how films are made, it's a good experience. I'm very intrigued by that. Definitely want to give that a go.
Yeah, is that on Game Pass?
I want to say yes, but I haven't checked.
I can see. Go on, then you can continue.
And then lastly, we've got is it Mech?
Don't know. Mayek. Mayek.
It is Mech.
Yeah.
Recently played quite a bit of Bear and Breakfast, which people have been playing the last couple of weeks, actually. People are enjoying. The premise is that you're a bear and are semi-conned into renovating and managing dilapidated buildings into Airbnb locations to hopefully attract new visitors. The gameplay is a combination of Animal Crossing collection and crafting, and 2-point series room building, with maybe a bit of Stardew Valley sprinkled in between. As the camera's in a fixed position, it can't be rotated. Problems can occur with selecting things if they are different sizes and are overlapping or too close together, which can be frustrating, especially when decorating rooms. I'd give it a score of 8.5 out of 10. Definitely a cozy game for cold evenings with adorable animal characters.
Immortality is on GamePass, so you have no excuse. Also, it's coming out on iOS and Android.
It is, but through Netflix.
Yes, with an app apparently.
Yes. So a lot of people don't know this. Netflix, you can play games on Netflix if you've got a subscription. You just have to go on the Netflix app on your phone, and there's a game section, and then you can select them. But when you select them, what it does is it takes you to then the app store to then download an app as a separate app. So you don't actually play it within Netflix, but if you have a Netflix account, you can access certain mobile games.
How weird.
Nobody knows that, so no one's playing them because they don't really advertise it.
Huh. Yeah, no. I mean, if this comes out and I haven't played it by then, no, I probably will, because we're going to get the Series X set up in your room, aren't we? I think that might be a fun game to play on that.
Yes.
Oh. All right, well, that was Swapping Joysticks. Look at that. You're like, oh, I think we'll probably just be an hour, and we're over an hour and a half.
Well, once you get chatting, Ben, it's hard to stop you.
How dare you? We had some great conversations about music and film and a little bit of video games. What are your plans for the upcoming week?
I am going to try and finish a video game.
I want you to promise me something.
I don't know if I can do that.
I want you to promise me that this time next week when we do the podcast, you have finished either Final Fantasy XII or Tales of Arise.
Or Cult of the Lamb.
No.
But I'm more likely to finish Cult of the Lamb, and I want to take that off.
Well, okay, you must complete 2 of those 3.
I don't have time for 2.
Well, Cult of the Lamb, you're on the final level, aren't you?
On all 3 of those games, I'm right at the end. It's just can I be
Well,
bothered?
I'm not going to be cruel and demand that you finish all 3 of them. Is Tales of Arise on your PlayStation still?
Yes, it's taking up space.
So you need to finish it. You're right at the end. Cap says you're almost right at the end. You're so close. You're so close. Come on,
the
come
final
on.
dungeon. I could just run through it and ignore all the enemies.
So,
but I've forgotten what the story is now and the controls.
Nobody cares.
I'm going to have to start again and just play it all over.
Something about saving the world.
And Cuphead will be done on stream, so that's a given.
But yeah, you must complete. Well, we'll find out next week which games, plural, Ed's finished.
Okay.
That is the challenge.
Sure.
And if you finish those 2, I will not start a new game.
Wow.
That would be quite an achievement for me. I will progress further with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and hopefully get to the end of the tutorial. All right. So, thank you very, very much for tuning in. I'm Biggest Bennis. You can find me at twitch.tv/BiggestBennis, or I'm BiggestBennis1 on the old Twitter. And you can find us at swappingjoysticks.com. But where can we find you, Ed?
You can find me on Twitch and on Twitter at ed_nights.
Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, give us a download. Go and subscribe to us on YouTube and on your favorite podcasting sites. If you go to swappingjoysticks.com, there are the links on there. And very soon, I will be doing potentially a weekly column on there with a little roundup of the news and what's been going on and stuff like that. That is a future project that I'm going to hopefully start very soon. So yeah. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
All right. You can do the sign off.
See you all next week. Keep swapping.